is the semi-pro football league. Feel the passion, feel the vibe. Leveraging football to transform lives. St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League. Let's go! One shot to create your greatness. It's your time to make your name. It's more than just a way of life.
Of course, we're back at the Dennery playing field. This time it's for all the marbles. It's Tier 1 action. It's Clery versus Central Castries. Of course, Central Castries going straight into the final, winning their qualifier against Grosile. And of course, Clery defeating Grosile in the second qualifier. And we have the first ever final of the inaugural Semi-Pro Football League Tier 1. Of course, I'm joined by my good friend Terry Finister, and of course Mr. Birthday Boy, celebrated yesterday, Mr. Conibad Louis, the football Chinese.
Has promised us tweet to Accra after the game.
They've been troubling me about that cake, you know. I don't know if it's fruit cake, you know. And you just saw Aaron Daniel in action there.
Game again off to a quick start, as was the Tier 2 final earlier. This one didn't quite produce a penalty, but still the teams Castries derby going at it from very early on.
Yeah, clearance there. And of course, Aaron Daniel is finding his right back, Shem Ume.
Team news for us, football Chinese.
Yeah, the first 11 for Central Castries in goal. Aaron Daniel, number 1, number 15. The right back, Shem Ume. The centre back, Emery Edward. Number 13. Number 12, Kevon Alcindor. The left back, Giovanni Saltibus. Number 18, 16 is Shaquan Nelson. Number 5, Simeon Francis. Number 8, Anthony Christopher. 11, McCarlan John. Number 14, Jamal Wilfred. And the right winger, number 10, Zachary Lirish. Clery, number 1, goalkeeper Ray DeMille. Number 8 is Josh Harrow, left back. The centre back, Donil Lionel. Number 5, number 80, the centre back Malik Saint-Prix. Number 12, right back Asa Daniel. Midfielder Ume Butcher, wearing the number 2. Number 27, Lyndon Constantine. Midfielder, also in the midfield, the number 10, Movin Saint-Romain. Left winger, Johan Degazan. He's wearing the number 9. Number 77 is Yannick Noel, striker. And the right winger, number 11, Andres Remy.
Of course, some team news. Captain Emery Edward is returning to the fray for Central Castries. His presence would have been sorely missed. And of course, we realized that it's Ray DeMille in goal, replacing Devon Saint-Prix, who accumulated 3 yellow cards. So he's unable to participate in this final. A bit of a shame. You would have hoped that yellow cards would have been wiped out for the playoff leg, starting fresh. But they've carried on from the league phase to the final. And of course, also missing for Clery is Darren Joseph, also an accumulation of yellow cards. So just some additional team news for you as we see.
Well, of course, if a red in the last contest as well.
Or that would have been Cooper.
Yes, Cooper, I said that.
Yeah.
With the red.
Yeah.
Cooper got a straight red the last game. Again from a defense, Saint-Prix.
Of course, Malik Saint-Prix, who we saw start as the number 9 in the second qualifier versus Grosile. He's now in central defense, sort of showing the versatility of the former national player there.
Yeah, some good ball there from Central Castries. Jamal Wilfred was on the end of this one there.
First game between these two during the league phase, 1-2-1 by Central Castries. Benero Wellington got on the board early for Central, in fact in the 3rd minute, and there was no further scoring until the 90th minute when 2 goals were scored. Zachary Larish increased the lead, and then Milan Jules had a chance to cut into the lead, and it ended up 2-1. Ronham Cooper with a red card in that contest as well.
Emery looking for the man running in the channels on the far side. Was well met there by Lionel.
Well, Central Castries normally plays a variation of 3-5-2 or 5-3-2, depending on how you look at it, in and out of possession. I believe they may have slightly tweaked their lineup today.
Again, an attack is being built on the far side, and no problem there for Ray DeMille in goal for Clery. And already a player is in some kind of a disarray.
We see Central Castries changing their formation just a little bit, opting to go with 3 central midfielders, probably trying to gain a little bit more control in the center of the park, not conceding too much possession to a Clery team who has been rampant at the back end of the Tier 1 league phase and through this playoff as well, putting 4 goals past a Dennery outfit who boasted the best defense out of all Tier 1 teams, and of course an additional 2 against Grosile.
And you talk about rampant, they have a number of goal scorers on this team as well. It's not just a question of relying on one man. Simeon Francis, of course, the top scorer in the league from Central Castries, but the Clery boys can count on probably as many as 4 competent goal scorers and have 3 of them in the top of the goal scoring table so far for the season.
Yeah, and of course Andres Remy would be one of those adding to that. Scored a hat-trick on his return to the team, the number 16 for Clery, former national player, and he's going to be looking to add to his tally. He's already scored 3 goals during this semi-pro playoff, so
yeah,
definitely has his shooting boots on.
His registration was delayed. It was, of course, with Grenades FC in Antigua and Barbuda. Grenades going on with a number of St. Lucian players still. Kurt Frederick, former national captain, Sherman Augustine, amongst them Riddell Stanislaus. They played in the Caribbean Football Union Club Championship along with Bays FC out of Lucia. Beautiful ball there.
Lovely feet there by Andres Remy, and a powerful drive by Yuan Bujudegas off of his, dare I say, weaker right foot. This guy can use both of his feet equally well. We'll see that demonstrated now because he's about to take a corner kick with his left peg, an in-swinging one. We normally see him take the corner kicks from the opposite end. You'll see him use his right foot just as well.
St. Pri and St. Romain in there.
What a ball in there.
Josh Harrow with the strike there, posing no threat to Aaron Daniels' goal. Emery's back in the mix there. Emery playing it across to Alcindor.
Whilst we've been looking at the action, Asa Daniel, the right back for Clery, has been substituted by number 25, Dylan Moore. Apparently an injury suffered there by Daniel. We did see him laying on the pitch just a short while ago. And it turns out he's been substituted very early in this contest. Would be disappointing for him. Played very well in the second qualifier for Clery.
Is a Daniel is the brother of Aaron Daniel, so we have the brothers here playing for either or, and Isa Daniel is limping, coming off.
Well, you can ring out the Elton John right now.
And as you could see, the coach of Clery pointing directions there to his players. Throw in there from Eme. The whistle of Napoleon went, spotting an infringement in the midfield region. Anthony Christopher was impeded. Emery finding his man. That's Shem. Looking for the man moving forward. Some good touches on the ball from Jamal Wilfred. Anthony Christopher in the midfield is looking to find his man John. And
a good save by Ray DeMille, but bundled in, it looks like by... is that Jamal Wilfred who
well, Central Castries has pounced and pounced very early.
Very early indeed.
Yeah. After executing a wonderful save there.
I think that was McCallan John there. The number 11 for Central Castries.
Number 14, it was Jamal Wilfred.
Oh, it's number 14.
Yeah, Jamal Wilfred.
Oh, there you go. Jamal Wilfred, number 14, with that strike. Jamal Wilfred had been ailing with a bit of an injury. He played in the first qualifier injured. Of course, he played a full 120 minutes there. And the nature of the injury was not disclosed. Clearly, it's something that is manageable because he's already shown his pedigree here in the final.
Advantage Central Castries.
We're in the 11th minute of our final encounter here tonight as we bring down the curtains on the semi-professional football league in St. Lucia for 2024. And this ball is put into touch there. Through in there on the far side.
And of course, Jamal Wilfred would have been instrumental in that game against Grosley, gifting his team the lead with a beautiful strike when they had actually been down against Grosley.
Simeon Francis with the throw, not finding his man. Sempri. It was finding his man, Tiprai, back to Sempri. Josh Harrow is trying to dance around McCallan John. McCallan was whistled there in the process. I believe he was tugging on the shirt of Harrow. Josh Harrow is well built, strong, young lad indeed. Very strong. Sempri finding his man. Simeon Francis, the top scorer of Tier 1 football. And the number 5 for Central Castries, winning himself a spot kick.
Wilfred, the scorer, would have been part of that under-20 team with the likes of Kanye Sandiford, Daniel Carew, Keegan Call. Wonderful under-20 team that represented themselves very well, remained unbeaten throughout the CONCACAF campaign.
And just remove the beating of his band, and Yuan Degaza would have wanted to made a better contact
he'll
on
want
that.
Back. He'll hope for another one like that. A firmer strike would have put the game back even Stevens.
Aaron Daniel at the end of this one with his left foot. looking for his man on the far side, Christopher. Again, this ball is straight into the defensive third of Clery. Sempre finding his man. Oh, a good turn there by T. Pry. And I think that he lost his foot in there. Looking in some kind of discomfort there. That's Andros Remy.
Andros Remy is as tough as they come. If he stays down, it's because he's feeling the hurt. Very durable winger. He's now hit the 30-year mark. Scored plenty goals for St. Lucia. Scored plenty goals for his club side B1 FC. Scored plenty goals for Grenades FC as well.
Giovanni Saltibus with the throw. Looking for Jamal Wilfred. Wilfred is trying to get past Josh Harrow. Straight into the hands of Ray DeMille. Again, Ellie will start from defense.
Fortuitous bounce there for Clery.
Degazo is trying to take on his man there. That's Saltibus. Saltibus winning the battle.
Of course, young Imani Butcher into the lineup for Clery as well. Youngest ever debutant for the St. Lucia senior men's national team, aged only 16.
McCallum John there was bundled over as he's trying to penetrate through the channels here on the right side. A lovely ball on the far side. St. Roman driving this one low. No problems whatsoever for Aaron Daniel.
Not a terrible decision. Didn't really have a cross available to him and tried to make something of it. Tough angle.
Of course, moving St. Romain, one of that four-man attack that Terry spoke of earlier on. Only 18 years old. Some youth in this Clery outfit.
Considerable amount of youth, despite you speaking of Mr. Remy having turned 30, and in fact he's 31, I believe. He turned 31 in September.
Some dancing feet is being showed there by Butcher. It's just cannot get past the final third of Central Castries. A player has been brought down in the middle of the park. That's Jamal Wilfred.
Of course, Coach Zane Pierre indicating in one of the post-match interviews during the playoffs that their thinking is interesting to see what Renly Napoleon is going to pull out here.
Seeing cards.
And Emery
What color?
got tangled there with T. Pry, and T. Pry almost lost his pants there in the process.
Yellow card being shown. I think that's a fair decision. There was a little bit of cover there. Although Andros Remy getting to the wrong side of the Castries Central captain. Clumsily bringing him down just outside the box, just about 25 odd yards out. But that's prime position for the left foot of Yuan Buju de Gazon. We see him standing over the ball as we speak.
Yeah. Yuan de Gazo is trying to execute judgment on this one with Renly Napoleon indicating where that the wall is supposed to be placed.
course, Emery and Wood would have missed the last 3 odd matches of the regular season, and of course missed the playoffs as well. So he may not be up to match speed, but his leadership very much needed. And the strike there by Yuan De Gazoy into the safe hands of Aaron Daniel, making that fantastic save in the penalty shootout versus Groselier.
Saltibus finding Alcindor on the far side, looking for Shem. Some good touches there. Zachary Lirish just losing it there on the flank. Tipra is not able to control this one. Now he does. Trying to bring this one across there, and no problems whatsoever for Aaron Daniel.
This time Emery Edward well positioned and shadowing his man well.
Yeah, he was looking for the cross but was unsighted. Couldn't really make much of it. There's 2 men in the box, and they too were well shepherded by players in blue.
Shem Ame in the channels. Studs fire in there in the center of the park.
We haven't really seen the league's top scorer, Simeon Francis, get into the game just as yet. But of course, he's not one you want to give a sniff of the goal. From midfield, he's the leading scorer in Tier 1. He's currently on 12 goals, I believe.
Goals.
Yeah, he has 12 goals to his name.
From 10 matches.
That's healthy.
Very healthy. Jamal
Almost
Wilfred was
Jude
impeded.
Bellingham-esque. When Jude Bellingham started off for Real Madrid, started off his club career, he couldn't stop scoring.
This one is coming in there, and heads go up in defense for Clery. Looking for
Dangerous there from the keeper.
yeah.
And I would have thought that 1 or 2 of the Clery attackers would have seen the keeper coming all the way off his line and joined in the attack and come down to try to fill some of those gaps, because there wasn't much that he could have done with the player bearing down on him.
A turn there from Shaquan Nelson, trying to find Zachary Lirish. Goes back into defense. Christopher finding his man, Ame. Sent Romain, not seeing Tipra in an offside position.
Of course, Yannick Noel, who came in off the bench, the last fixture, scoring off the bench. He starts this one, making his national senior men's debut earlier on, as we see Simeon Francis intercepting there.
The whistle of Renly Napoleon went.
I think the ball just ricocheted off his boot there and hit the hand of Jamal Wilfred.
Tipra was well met there by Shem. St. Romain was impeded there. And the channels on their far side.
Despite the 1-goal lead by Central Castries, I think this game is certainly evenly poised. Both teams throwing their jabs and feeling out the opposition. I don't think we've seen any of them go on all-out attack mode. Still very conservative. Clery would be mindful of the threat of Central Castries. The pace of Jamal Wilfred. Of course, Central Castries would be also wary of the goal threat that Clery brings to the table.
Degazon is lifting this one gently. The fist of Aaron Daniel was met. The number 10, Zachary Lirish, is trying to clear it. Finding his man, that's Ame on the far side. And I think that he was impeded in moving forward.
Manny Butcher just tripping him up there.
Yeah, Eli, I would have to agree with you very heartily. This game, still a lot of time in the game, obviously, and I think it's still pretty much even. Clery has been getting their openings. There have been a couple of, sniffs at chances that they could have taken. Degazon, we saw getting a very uncertain boot to a ball inside the 6-yard box. Virtually point blank range as there's a coming together there.
Looks to me Alcindor, who was impeded there moving forward.
Couple of quick fouls there by Imani Butcher. He would have caught the eye of Renly Napoleon. Young player out of Soufrière. Plays his club football for Black Panthers.
Oh, okay. Alcindor is going to receive some treatment there from his physio. One goal up to the good for the boys of Central Castries. Two teams coming from the Castries Basin. Central is more proper. Central part of the town, of the city, I mean.
Of course, historically, Central Castries, I'm talking 40, 50 years ago, before any of us were born. Central Castries is really the heart of football in St. Lucia.
China didn't laugh too much at that one.
I realize that. A number of strong club teams, some of which persist to this day. You had the likes of Shamrock, VSADC, CYO, Naya, some really good football being played. Lancers being played at the SAB, which these days is a lot greener than it used to be, and at Mindo Phillip Park as well.
Very true. Most of the national players in this time would be players coming from like Naya Binge, VSADC. Yeah. Man, like we had Eddie St. Remy. We had people like Kenny Abanati in goal, the Dreadlocks man. And of course, I can remember in '87, St. Lucia did very good in sports in the Caribbean. I think we defeated Trinidad, Haiti, likewise Jamaica.
Placed third in the Caribbean tournament. I think it was a Shell Cup at the time.
Yeah, Shell Caribbean Cup.
Yes,
we
and
used to
then
have some
course,
yellow and red balls. Yeah.
Yes, and back in the 70s, we would have won the Popham tournament. Don't you know the new sound in the land?
Yeah, in '87, who is the champion, the Calypso? Yeah.
I think we have to remix this for 2024. 2024 has been our year as well.
Yeah, we won gold in various disciplines.
Fun fact for those of you listening to our little historical notes. The club is now Naya FC. It was changed just a couple of years ago from Naya Bingi.
I like Naya Bingi myself, but it is what it is.
I mean, we all have dreams and aspirations, Terry.
I think it's Naya with an H, N-Y-A-H.
T-Pry is not proven faster there than Alcindor.
Central Castries navigating well out of the back there.
Very confidently.
Shaquan Nelson feeding Alcindor. Alcindor back to. And Emery has to rescue Aaron Daniel.
Very interesting stuff at the back there.
Of course, Aaron Daniel would have also played in the field as well. Suffered a horrific injury just a couple of years ago, playing at left back. But his captain Emery Edward had to come to his rescue there. Normally,
he may have done himself a disservice.
Normally, very astute with his feet, Aaron Daniel, but this time probably just mistimed the flight of the ball and Amir Edward, who is coming off of that Achilles injury, I believe, is now hobbling just a little bit. Felt some pain there. Of course, Emery was waving the physios off because as long as they come onto the pitch and provide any sort of treatment, then you have to get off.
You have to take off, yeah.
Though he's walking gingerly, he's called them off.
And now we get to see Yuan Degazor take it with his right peg this time.
That's a good
Equally as efficient with his...
This one is wide there from Saint Pri. Malik Saint Pri was trying to pounce on this one.
And there's a red card. There is a red card shown.
A red card is shown to Jamal Wilfred.
It looked like Wilfred.
It was Wilfred. It was for something that he said. He was nowhere close to the play. Complained to referee Renly Napoleon. Couldn't hear what he said from where we sat, but his demeanor was definitely very aggressive.
That's him in the
Well, there was
picture
a lot of discussion from both sides as to what transpired in the box, but it seems that Wilfred's voice was most strident. Or
That's
what he said was
definitely
most offensive.
It's
And
definitely
so
a big blow for Central Castries.
Very
One
much
man
so.
up, one goal up, but one man down.
Yeah.
Jamal Wilfred would not have been in the top scorers list throughout the season, but his hold-up play, his ability to allow people like Simeon Francis to run off of him and to allow Central Castries to bring the ball up the pitch. Very important player. Of course, as you mentioned, or as I mentioned his name, Simeon Francis, he's whistled for a foul there on Imani Butcher. But this game is now interestingly poised. The Central Castries up a goal but down a man.
Well, I'm supposing that the formation that of Central Castries will be changed on the on-field of player. Losing a man, losing the number 14, Jamal Wilfred. Must have said some unpleasant words there on the field of play with Napoleon, the man in the middle. I think he's heard some things that he didn't want to don't want to hear at all, and Sempre just blazing this one over the transversal very high.
Of course, not what you want to see in a final, a player being issued a red card, but of course, you know, there are rules to this game. Sportsmanship is very high on the agenda. And of course, respect is very high on the agenda as well. So, clearly, whatever he said, the official deemed it worthy of a sending off. Unfortunate for maybe some of the spectators, unfortunate maybe for the spectacle, but that's what football brings.
And it looks to me like Clery looking to press here with a pass being not weighed that properly and going into touch.
The thing here, Johnny, you look at where they're at in the game psychologically, and of course, Central Castries would be affected by what transpired, losing a player at that stage of the game. First half, they are going to have some degree of disquiet, discomfort. May take a little while to collect themselves and settle their nerves. And La Clery perhaps poised to pounce on that situation and take full advantage.
Yeah, Buju Degazor is trying to dance around his man and he's finding the back of the net, beating Aaron Daniel.
Well, the opposite of the commentator's curse, Eli.
Wow. Wow. Not the greatest of angles, but of course, again, we just mentioned the ability of Yuan Buju Degazor with both feet. And that was a telling, low-driven strike across the face of Aaron Daniel into his bottom right-hand corner. I would hardly say that the keeper was at fault there. It was just an immaculate strike from Degazor.
Yep.
And of course, it's now 1 apiece in this final. Need I remind you that Central is down a man?
10 minutes remaining in the first half. Central have now lost their advantage on the scoreboard, and they are behind in terms of personnel, in addition to having to make an early substitution in this game, with Asa Daniel having succumbed to injury.
And Saltibus is putting the laces on this one. Ball going into touch. Through in there for LA. They're gonna start from the defense on the far side.
Chani, as I just look back on the incident there, Wilfred actually put his hands on the referee.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wilfred actually shoved the referee. So he was going to show some sort of card, but I don't know that he was going to be shown a red.
I think he was about to get the red. It's not like the yellow was in his hand and he decided to change his mind. I think Wilfred, recognizing that he was about to get sent off,
decided to get full
decided
value.
to make it count.
Decided to get full value for his red card.
To the detriment of his team right now, because they are now level on the goal scoring chart.
And one thing you should never do is put your hand on the man in the middle. He has the whistle and also the cards.
Yeah, and he has a red shirt too, so seeing red all around.
You ready? Tonight.
Seeing red all around there. But this game is now interestingly poised, of course. Central Castries will want to stay compact and take opportunities like they are having now with set pieces. Emery Edward in the box would do well for them there, and
ball coming in from Macallan John was well controlled, and Tipra is trying to keep it in play.
Tipra unable to rein that one in.
Tipra with 7 goals to his name. Troy Greenidge from Grosely with 9, and of course Simeon Francis has 12 to his name. Ellie. St. Romain for Ellie, trying to get past Remy. And Daniel bringing this one to his grasp.
I think that one may have taken a bit of a deflection.
Yes, it did.
So he felt that he needed to save the corner.
Well, we just mentioned that Simeon Francis scored 12 goals from midfield, and if Central Castries ever needed a goal from midfield, it would be tonight, as they are now without their striker, and we heard over the combat.
Oh,
what a strike! And what a save!
Tiprai fire in this one home there. And
Aaron Daniel equal to it.
Yes, equal to the task.
I thought Remy was given far too much time on the ball there.
No.
1, 2. He's just allowed to play. It's never been shut down, but got off a really good strike. And Aaron Daniel with an equally fine save.
But Emery Edward was beaten to it there on the far side by St. Romain. Proving to be very, very dangerous indeed. Macallan John is finding his man. Emery. Some good touches on the ball there from Francis, displacing the pass.
Well, as anticipated, Emery Edward looks a shade slow. He's not played any competitive football for just about 2 months now, or just maybe a shade under 2 months. This is a final here, and probably not the ideal circumstances to make a return. You'd have probably want to have blooded yourself in, maybe in a friendly encounter or a match that has a little less meaning, as we see Josh Harrow being cut down there
by Zachary Lirish, in number 10 for Central.
No
Lurish
foul,
takes
though,
ball,
it's
takes man.
so
Well,
throw
he
in.
did get the ball. Clipped him on the shin in the process.
You know, in this day and age, sometimes you get into the ball first is sometimes not enough.
Players from Emery, finding Bujo.
Nice turn there by Butcher. Lost out there.
He was
Harrow
robbed in
calling
the
for a
process.
reset, but it never came.
Again, you see the player moving forward was beaten to the task. That's Shem.
Of course, in an era where, you know, players move around quite a bit. I just mentioned Imani Butcher, who would have played for Soufrière not too long ago.
Black
Now,
Panthers.
and
T-Prize attempting the Caesars.
yeah, it's called as dangerous play, a high boot there. You know, I was making a point in this era where you see a lot of players moving around. And just Remy would have played for Marsha previously and moved across to Clery. You have people like Imani Butcher, who would have played for Soufrière, Kanye Sandiford, who was with this Clery outfit, who would have played for Mabwe at some point in time. But their goalkeeper, their custodian, Ray DeMille, he's been with this Clery team from the onset, and he's still with them. So it's good to see him getting in between the sticks in the final, albeit due to the absence of Devon Zenpri, but I think he would be definitely relishing the opportunity here.
Harrow is trying to find St. Roman. He's trying to bring it down from his chest. Harrow is being shadowed there by Simeon. On the far side is Degazo trying to dance across Emery. This one is coming across and well handled there in defense. And this ball is blocked again there by Josh Harrow. Zachary Lirish there. Clean way for Josh Harrow. Through in there by from a Saltibus. Some poor touch there from the player of Clery. Again, ball is into touch. Saltibus is gonna try one more time. Throw in this one.
Of course, we're into the 43rd minute of play. Let's say a warm good night to you guys viewing via our live stream. We're down here at the Dennery playing field. This is the second of two encounters, two finals for tonight. Of course, in a Tier 2 action, V4 South ran out 5-1 winners over South Castries. South Castries tasting defeat for the first time in this Semi-Pro Football League Tier 2 action. Maybe not the opportune time for you to lose your first game, but such is football. And of course, we locked here at one apiece. Clery versus Central Castries. Central Castries down a man, a straight red card given to Jamal Wilfred, the number 14. And it's game on.
Yeah, as Degazo is giving chase to this one. And he was shadowed there. And of course, he's called for the foul. The man in the middle is not pleased at all with the outcome.
Pretty decent crowd in here for the finals of the Semi-Pro Football League. I was joking with Terry just prior to and saying that maybe the venue is best suited. If we were at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground, the crowd may have looked a bit thin, a bit sparse. But definitely at the Dennery playing field, the newly built stands and the bleachers to either side. Of course, some fans opted to stand up against the crowd control barriers to get a closer look at the action. But the numbers look pretty healthy for the first ever Semi-Pro Football League final.
And the lighting is really fantastic, I must say.
A very lovely sight to see here on the newly refurbished place here in Dennery, in Newfield.
There are actually a few spectators behind the fence as well.
Yeah.
3 minutes of time added on in this first half, which has been a thrilling first half. Interestingly poised at the moment.
Even Stevens.
Castries will want to go in there and figure out how they're going to manage the second half, down one man.
Giovanni Saltibus was looking for Lyrish. Zachary there. He was well met in the channels by the defensive third of Clery. Throw in there to Clery. Lyris is trying to get onto the end of this one. Losing possession. Ball is squared to the far side. Clery is trying to build up again through the channels on the right side. Tipra is trying to dance around Emery. Oh, this one was to the
And it's still
near
there.
pole of Daniel, and again he saved it, and it looks to me like a Harrow.
Yannick Noel was
That
the
was
one
Yannick Noel.
on the end of that. Hand to the face there.
How did he miss that header?
Will be very disappointed in himself. Again, Clery carving out the chances. Literally all he needs to do is get behind that, because there's no defensive intervention that could stop him from scoring.
Well, if he was playing for Central Castries, I would have said that was a good defensive header.
Yeah.
Getting the ball out of the danger area.
It's out.
Yeah, though that Kevin Alcindor was in the picture, but I don't.
Yeah, he was in the vicinity.
Yeah, but I don't think he should have. He acted in any way of preventing him from scoring this goal. Yannick had all the time in the world to put this one inside of the net. Sempre on the back end.
Another young player there, Yannick Noel, just 21 years of age, and as I said earlier, would have made his debut for the senior men's national team. Ball lands to his feet again.
Emery cushion in this one is looking for John McCallan. John has lost a possession.
Noel that time tried to take it on his own, and I think he would have been better served trying to lay off to Josh Harrow was wide, when he could have been able to make something better of it with more bodies coming to the box.
McCallan John was trying to chip the keeper there. Ray DeMille was off his line, but not enough venom into this one, as Malik will start in defense again for LA. Bringing this one across is Josh. Buju is trying to keep it at the far end there. He's been shadowed by Shem.
Another good ball in by Degazo as well. Josh Harrow still forward. Onto his left foot and across, fizzing across the face of the goal there. Of course, we're well past the 3 minutes of added on time, signaled by the fourth official, but it's a minimum of 3 minutes.
And a very good observation, which I made as well from the Clery bench. Nobody in the box. The three very good crosses came into the box. 3 really good opportunities, but there was nobody at the end of them, and it ends 1-1 after the first half of play here at the Denry playing field, the Tier 1 championship game in the inaugural St. Lucia Semi-Professional Football League.
This is the Semi-Pro Football League. Feel the passion, feel the vibe. Leveraging football to transform lives. St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League. Let's go! One shot to create your greatness. It's your time to make your name. It's more than just a way of life. This is more than just a game. This is one more reason why we unite with each other. So here comes one more season. This is football to unite the world. When we come alive, we just excite the world. Celebrate emotions and ignite the world. Let's make sure everybody knows it's the Semi-Pro League and this is what we love. Let's go! Oh, 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 this is what we love. Oh, 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 this is what we love. Let's play! Oh, 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 this is what we love. This is a beautiful game and this is what we love. St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League. Leveraging football to transform lives.
My journey as a player has helped me a lot in many different ways. One, starting off at the age of 15 on the national team to where I am right now at the senior national team level. It has helped me with discipline, organization, timing, because all of these things play a lot of role with your diet and all what has to be done on a regular basis for football preparation, mindset. And these things play a big role in your life also when you go have a job or when you're at the start of your normal day. Time, punctuality, all of these things come in a big role. So I must say football has helped me out a lot in many different ways.
What sets me apart is that I'm very versatile. When called upon, I can play many positions except for goalie. Coming from the community of Soufrière, we had struggles with getting players to play due to some players still working. So sometimes I'll have to be centre back, midfield, strike, wing. Yeah, so I think basically I'm pretty comfortable.
And he scores!
Physically, I dedicate myself to training. Mentally, I pray when I wake up in the morning and I prepare myself on a daily basis to go to training.
What I'm excited for making the last cut of the national team is, my hard work and determination throughout my training to semi-pro, playing for my club and my district. I put in the effort and the hard work, so I just want to reap the benefits to be on the national team once again, just to represent my country.
Specific areas of my game I'm focused on improving is finishing, decision making, and being able to be calm and confident. Once I work on that, I'll be a better player.
and most challenging part of this journey, it has been work and to come to training every single day. That's the most challenging part about it. To overcome it, it was a mindset. Some days I wake up early in the morning, do what I gotta do half of my work and come here and put in my 100% every single day. This is how I overcame this challenge.
And he scores! Here, it's a really big chance.
When I found out that I made it to the national men's senior team trials, I was a bit happy, and the first thing that came to my mind is that I'm going to a higher level of football and that I need to raise my level. And yeah, that was a big goal to me.
This controls and a chance.
And there's a shot to goal!
My inspiration is CR7. He's my role model ever since I've been a young boy. The reason he's my role model is because of his work ethic, his professionalism, his desire to get what he wants by working hard. So I try to emulate that the best I can by doing the same, putting in the work to achieve my goals, my objective.
Our final score there, 2-0, but there were other opportunities. Polion going, had a hat-trick last game. What a save by Archibald. I mean, there was just no quit in either side, and there is an opportunity.
Representing my country on a national level means everything to me. It is the greatest honor for me as a player. I've represented my clubs, my community from a young child, from under 15 to under 17, under 19, and on the national level for the senior team is the highest level you can possibly reach. I aspire to play against the highest level, the best players. That's where you challenge yourself and really get to know what you're about. If you're as good a player as you think you are, I am very excited for it to join the senior players, just get a feel for the environment, and travel and play for my country.
Great move, and he scores!
For my team to succeed, I plan on making every minute on the pitch count towards goal contribution.
It's been a great experience being here on the national team. I came in when I was 19 years old when Coach came in. I've been working with a lot of the pro players from overseas. They've helped me a lot, not just as a player but as a human self. It's been a great experience.
I will fit into the national team playing style because I always try to listen to what the coach say. I try my best, even after I got now, I still research about the position where I have to play so I can just suit the coach style and what he wants from us.
I plan to handle the pressure at competing at such a high level by staying calm and believing in my ability to do what I know I can do on the field, in the playing field.
That shot on goal!
What sets me apart from the other players, I believe, is the willingness to train and to come and compete with other players. Because some players feel like to just come here is just easy. But when they come, it's a different experience. They cannot handle the pressure, cannot handle the training, but you have to be determined.
up as a footballer, this was my dream, to become part of the main national side. But throughout the years, it wasn't too much because about the coaches and stuff, but we finally got a coach who I believe that could take me to the next step.
Number of bodies back to the top of the box. And it is a goal.
My advice to the young players who are interested in joining the national side to believe in themselves and never stop working.
In the heart of every community lies a dream waiting to come true as a journey begins. We dribble through life's hurdles, breaking down its barriers, looking beyond the horizon. Lessons are learned, friendships are forged, and strength is birthed from within. Beyond tactics and goals, we strive as a team. With discipline and perseverance, we advance. Through every kick, stumble, and victory, our lives are changing, and together we rise.
It's not just a game. Football is our life.
The St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League, leveraging football to transform lives.
This is the Semi-Pro Football League. Feel the passion, feel the vibe. Leveraging football to transform lives. St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League.
And of course, as the stadium announcer has indicated, we're straight back to the game. The second half just kicked off. Clery versus Central Castries in this grand final. One thing we know for sure is a team from Castries will be lifting the inaugural Semi-Pro Tier 1 trophy.
It's a pretty good bet.
Yeah.
I think Central Castries will have reshaped a little bit with one man up front and try to cover for the loss of their goal scorer, Jamal Wilfred, to a red card in the first half.
Straight red card for dissent.
Clery had quite a few half-decent opportunities in the first half. They will not necessarily have been pleased with the execution. Not very pleased to have seen some good crosses coming in towards the end of the first half, and no one at the end of them, no one to take advantage. So they'll want to rectify that as well. But, you know, Eli, Chinese, coming out of the halftime, you know, in the heat of the moment, you lose a man to a red card. Everybody kind of goes into a shell. But in the second half, this is a final. This is a championship game. Castries, Central Castries, that is, will certainly be giving it a good go.
Yes, Central Castries with a man down. And they were up by a goal. And Clery equalizing the game. It's even Stevens at this moment. Though Central is playing with a man down, the game is still evenly poised.
Well, if we're in the league stages still, you would probably expect Central Castries to try to consolidate, not lose the match. They would feel like getting out of here with a point would be sufficient under the circumstances. But it's not the league phase, it's the final. It's all to play for. So Central Castries must find a way to penetrate this Clery outfit if they are to win this encounter. Of course, if the game ends in regulation, all knotted up, we go to 30 minutes additional time, and then on to penalties. Central Castries will be no strangers to that scenario, taking that route to get directly into the final.
With Aaron Daniel saving. It was 2 penalties, but one it was said that his back leg wasn't planted behind, the line. But he's very good at saving those.
Well, I had a look back at that, and it looked like a good save to me, but water under the bridge now. It did not affect the outcome of the contest. Aaron Daniel will be hoping that he maintains this sort of form throughout the balance of this fixture, because we expect with a man up and the sort of football that we've come to see Clery play, particularly in the latter stages of this tournament, that they will be applying some level of pressure to the Central Castries goal.
Clery is trying to build up an attack there on the far side.
And into the box already, and
well, saved again from Aaron Daniel. Looks to me like it was Tiprai on the end of this one.
Right on cue. As I said, he needs to maintain that level of form if he's... And another strike there. The left-footed effort by moving Centro Main. Just whistling wide of the left upright of Aaron Daniel in goal. He would have not been able to do anything about that one.
He was flat-footed then.
Of course, Clery early on in this contest signaling their intent. A man up, and they're seeking to make it count. Josh Harrow on the ball now.
Just finding Donnie Lionel, who squares it up wide. It looks to me like Lyrish Zachary. And missing on this part there. Donnie Lionel for Ellie. Ball is put into touch there on the far side. Through in for Clery.
Clery with a very high line, playing a very high line, and they probably would feel more comfortable doing so now, not just because of the fact they upper man, but just the raw pace and power of Jamal Wilfred is no longer a threat.
Bit of a cagey start to the second half for both teams. Clery enjoying greater periods of possession.
Simeon Francis at the end of this one is finding his man. That's Macallan John, and at the end of this one there is Shaquan Nelson, and he's muscled off this one. The ball is been put into touch there.
Another national player, Shaquan Nelson. This game is laden with current and former national players. And even a couple national hopefuls. The likes of Aaron Daniel was called up for national training. Didn't make the final cut. But of course, he's still a very young goalkeeper, still learning his trade. Still trying to perfect it.
We just saw Anthony Christopher putting this ball into touch there. A good touch there from Emery. And of course, receiving from him is Shaquan Nelson there.
Showing his pedigree.
Yeah.
And you kind of think that's what Central Castries need to do. Get the ball up the pitch and try to see if they can, get some set pieces where the likes of Emery Edward can come into play.
Yeah, with his robust size and height, you know. The captain of Central, McCallan John, is in behind this one there.
Edward trying to settle his team. And he's telling the referee that he may have given a bit more latitude to some of the Clery players.
Well, definitely that's what Captain Emery Edward is accusing the official of. I don't know that any of the Clery players would have directed any comments towards the referee. There was a little bit of pushing and shoving between himself and Yannick Noel. And dangerous ball coming in there.
Yeah, very dangerous indeed. And it was miscued by the player coming in there.
That was Shem Joseph, who
Yeah.
apparently has entered the game
yeah.
in the second half. Not sure for who.
And we're just experiencing a slight drizzle there.
Anybody from Central make some noise? Looks like Central got in a good mood tonight.
Ball is coming across there, and the Clery player is unable to keep it into touch.
Another change coming on for Central Castries.
Dylan Moore. Throw in there for Central Castries. Number 19 has made his appearance.
It's
Raheem Lionel. Yep.
In for McCallan John.
Clearance there from the defensive third of Central Castries.
It's a tough task ahead. Wonder what's going through the mind of Nigel James right now, coach of Central Castries. Of course, with his trusty sidekick Ryan Daisy. Even the likes of Sean Curtin in the mix as well. Enough experience amongst the three of them, coaching at various levels, national and club. Another whizzed cross in there by Yuan Degazor. It's a corner. So well defended in the end there. A dangerous cross whipped in.
Very dangerous indeed, and it looks to me like the towering head of the defensive third of Central Castries getting the better of this one. The whistle of Napoleon went. Some players
Some pushing and shoving, and player probably taken down. May have been by his own player.
He looks in some kind of discomfort there.
As he ought.
I think he's clutching his.
I think it was double jeopardy for him. I think he landed awkwardly, and then the frame of Emery Edward just making that a little more painful, landing on top of the player. Looks like Donnie Lionel there. Is that the player that appears so?
I think Lionel may have clattered into Remy.
Yep. That was the case.
And as the last man probably that you want to clatter into you on that like Clery
Huge
team.
and robust stature there.
Muscles in his nose.
I'm telling you. Lyrish is trying to find his man. And it looks to me like
Lionel again called into action and somehow gets a judge for a foul for that.
Yeah, Liam DeVoe there.
As 50-50 ball. He got to it first. And he just opened his hands. The player was unbalanced. I'm not sure how you call a foul in that situation.
Well, I think we did hear a coach in a previous match barking out instructions to his player.
Make the most of it.
Yeah, if the guy is close enough, you go down.
Yeah, I think
gamesmanship.
Unfair on the defender. But Central Castries does get another spot kick in a good position, just outside the box. Good angle, I think. Rain just starting to come down here at the Denry playing field.
Shaquan Nelson behind this one.
And a ball whizzed in there.
Christopher.
Of course, I continue to feel that this might be Central Castries' best opportunity to get back into the game, making good use of a set piece. They've had a couple in the second half.
The problem with that, Eli, is that you have to be up the field in the first place for you to be able to get the set pieces. And they're not consistently committing upfield, further to which Clery is playing a very high line, so it's causing them some problems finding those gaps and getting behind the Clery back four. Does mean that with some good passing, they do have the opportunity to break through the high line and be able to run onto a ball and cause some discomfort for the Clery defenders.
Yeah, and with 10 men, they are trying to put up a resistance. That's Central Castries, keeping Clery at bay with the dangerous attack of Tiprai and of course Digazon. It's very, very threatening. The guys are bringing this one across. This one is parred over the transversal there.
I believe Zachary Larish issued with a caution for Central Castries.
So it's going to be a corner.
He's lifted this one straight into the grasp of the keeper. That's Aaron Daniel.
If my good friend Tennyson Glasgow were here, he would say milk for the cat.
DeMille is coming off his line. Simeon Francis finding Christopher. A wonderful ball there from Christopher. Bringing this one across, and who's at the end of this one? And there you can see Elijah, the missing man there in attack. But this ball is a strain.
Well, Shaquan Nelson thought there was something in there. Immediately appealing.
Felt he was taken down.
Immediately, I wouldn't mind seeing a replay of that, but immediately appealing there. Nothing doing there from the man in the middle.
It was Saint Romain that was brought down there by our top goal scorer in Tier 1, Simeon Francis.
I think Ant did make a little bit much of that.
This ball was coming across there.
Yeah, definitely not enough in that there.
One of the players from Clery was trying to have a head onto this one, but making no contact whatsoever. A goal kick there for Central.
St. Lucia just coming from behind in the third set to defeat St. Martin 3-0 in ECVA men's volleyball. The women, of course, won earlier this week. Men looking to do the same.
Raheem Lionel was taken down. And Josh is furious about it. Emery behind this one is looking for Zachary Lirish. Lirish is trying to keep it in play, but Saint Romain is trying to dance around Lirish and his dance. Oh,
He did a really good job of controlling it for Saint Romain.
yeah, very well said again. And just cannot accomplish the task that they started here on the right flank. And the ball is in the grasp of Aaron Daniel. Custodian in goal there for Castries Central. Emery?
A little bit of frustration may be creeping in for the Clery lads. They would have been hoping to have had a more dominant spell going with Central Castries going down a man.
Simeon is dancing around a Saint Romain. Donny Lionel meeting this one in the defensive third. Christopher finding Lirish. Again, Senpri is in charge. Well worn again. And misplacing this pass. Lirish trying to find his man.
Definitely a foul there. Badly mistimed tackle.
Yeah, Shaquan Nelson is balling. He's in pain.
Clearly in the official indicating that it's a throw. He definitely missed that one.
Yeah,
Shaquan Nelson squarely kicked there.
On the shin. Through in there, a long through coming in. Demille tapping this one. A clearance again. Heads go up. Buju is trying to clear this one. This one was brought down to the surface there again. Losing control. Ball is aerially played. And we're on the far side there. Oh, some lovely play there from Central Castries. Played with 10 men and looking quite comfortable.
Yeah. I must say.
And Eli, you spoke about their feelings, Clery coming into the second half. They would have expected to come in and win this, essentially, in the second half. One man up. You've had a lot of really good exchanges in the first half. You were on top of the game, more or less. You know, had a number of half chances. and it's been basically Central Castries having the better of it, despite the fact that they've had that they are behind one man.
Well, we also spoke about the pedigree of the coaching staff of Central Castries, and maybe that's probably what's telling here, as we see at Ricochet there. Ray DeMille slipped initially, but was able to gather himself and get that one up. A huge punt down the field. But the coaching staff of Central Castries would fancy themselves, based on their level of experience, to reorganize. The halftime coming and them reorganizing the team, changing the shape just a little bit. Of course, that focal point is no longer there in terms of Jamal Wilfred, but finding spaces down the flanks of Clery, who seem to be pushing numbers forward and making a fist of it. And there we see Shaquan Nelson almost intercepted it, but not getting it under his spell.
It was a brilliant midfielder for the under-20 team. Really led the attack, was a focal point of just about everything that the team was doing, and absolutely deadly with his free kicks. I think when they played when they won the Tier 2 in the 2019, I believe, they won the Tier 2 under 15 in Miami. He scored an absolutely beautiful free kick from some 30 yards out or so.
Some very good handling of the ball there by Donio.
Lost out there. And now it's on.
Took
Shaquan Nelson again. Yes.
Did Lionel.
Needed to get rid of it. And I guess you can see the same of Shaquan Nelson. A couple of touches too many there.
Nelson has played briefly in Jamaica, the Jamaica Professional League, Jamaica Premier League.
Sempre was looking for his man running forward there. De Gaza was in the mix there. Also, T-Pry also was in the mix, moving forward there. Whistle over. The man in the middle went. Spot kick there for Central Castries. Head injury there. That's Raheem Lionel there. You can see a shot from the drone. Number 19, Raheem Lionel.
And of course, if you enjoying some of the fantastic aerial shots, the drone footage from the live stream, that's compliments our production team, ES Productions.
Alex DeVoe is warming up on the sideline for Clery. Clery, as we said throughout the broadcast, much changed from their last couple of games, but their attack remains largely intact. Malik Sempre being used, however, as a utility player. He's in central defense. His brother absent today. Through an accumulation of red cards, his brother would have been the goalkeeper for much of the season for Clery.
We see a young Alex DeVoe rigorously warming up. He's the current junior footballer of the year.
And in the school's champion, I think, for the 1500 meters.
And the 800 meters,
800
I think.
meters
yeah.
as well,
Yeah.
Very sportive indeed.
So he can probably warm up a bit longer.
Nelson was beaten to the task on the far end in the channel, going goal bound, but he was well met on the far side.
Of course, Alex's brother Colby DeVoe would be, or was formerly part of the media fraternity, would have been the sportscaster at HCS Sports, did a stint at Vibrator, and I'm pretty sure he's watching via the live stream.
Yellow card for Lyndon Constantine, the number 27 of Clery.
And there's going to be another card
there
now.
will be another yellow card shown to this player.
Looks like Shaquan Nelson again. He's definitely been in the wars.
DeVoe is going to come in. DeVoe is going to come in with just over 15 minutes remaining in regulation.
Imani Butcher was the one who was shown the yellow card. And you could see the fans at the back there complaining.
Well, that could be through an accumulation of fouls. Imani Butcher committed several offenses in terms of fouls during the first half in particular, and the man in the middle may have deemed that that was one foul too many.
Yeah.
Well, Nelson stands over it once again. Castries with another opportunity.
He'll be looking for the towering head of Emery or Francis, the top goal scorer in Tier 1. The number 5 for Central Castries.
Great ball in there by Nelson.
And no nonsense Sempre in the defensive third. Putting this one into touch there. That's Malik Sempre.
Definitely has demonstrated his versatility throughout this semi-pro football league. Started games at central defense, not for the first time. Played in the midfield, has played as the lone striker. Vastly experienced.
The Constantine it is will make way for DeVoe. Or is it Butcher?
Maybe Coach Zane Pierre taking note of Butcher's, I don't want to say overly aggressive nature, but maybe seeing him being susceptible to picking up a second booking in quick succession.
Nelson is finding his man on the far side. Nelson again receiving. And this ball will just trickle off the leg of the Clery player into touch there for a corner kick.
You get the sense that Central Castries mounting the pressure on Clery. You would not have thought that, the manner in which the half ended, but as Terry alluded to a little earlier on, Central Castries definitely with the better of the exchanges in the second half, despite the fact that they are down a man. That ball whipped into the far post there, and
it was met by the number 2, that's Shem Joseph. And we see warming up just for our commentary booth there is Callum Marius and Milan Jules getting ready to go in there for Clery. Donny Lionel finding Saint Pri. Saint Pri goes far left. Ball is still in control of Clery. And oh my God, Daniel is spilling this one.
Meal he makes of that one.
And it looks to me like Saint Romain tucking
Very
this one.
unfortunate there.
2-1 it is in favor of Clery.
Very unfortunate there for Aaron Daniel in goal. He's pretty much been a steady Eddie throughout this tournament. And very much against the run of play. Central Castries seem to be mounting an offensive, albeit that they are down to 10 men. And Clery have now seized the control of this encounter. Of course, that would mean Central Castries need to commit more men forward. There's not much time. Just about 10 minutes remaining in regulation.
Tiprai has been carded. St. Romain receiving there from his compatriot.
It's a good thing the referee doesn't have to give away those cards. He'd have run out. He's
Christmas is fast approaching.
Bye. I didn't know we had Junior Quail cards. But there you have it.
Oh, God.
Clery back on top. 2-1.
Another blistering strike there. That looks like from the boots of Josh Harrow.
Yeah. Fewer than 10 minutes remaining, but we've had a number of injuries. We've had a number of stoppages, substitutions. I would anticipate at least 5 minutes of time added on at the conclusion of this regulation.
You never know. Sometimes you might see 10.
Yeah, at least 5.
It's all to play with here.
10 would not be out of the realm of possibility at all.
Sempre receiving from Donil. Back to Donil. The ball has gone out into touch there.
Probably ill-advised, I would say. With a man up, you would like to think that Clery would want to hold on to the ball as much as possible.
Ball is going into touch there. Well shadowed there by the Clery player. That's Moore with the throw. Finding Lirish. Lirish was looking for his man. And straight on our roof here at the commentary box. Giovanni Saltibus with the throw for Central Castries. Long throw into the box. Clearance there from Clery. Christopher is trying to bring this one back into their game.
Manages to keep it to a throw. Very well done.
think the referee signaled for goal kick.
Went over the line.
Donil finding more. Throwing again there to
frustration beginning to creep in for Clery despite the advantage.
Of course, we do apologize for any profanity you may have heard coming through our microphones. Of course, we're very close to the action here. Oh!
That was a brilliant throw. Spectators' goal, unfortunately, but a brilliant throw.
Emery Edward rippling the net there.
Yeah.
But the wrong side of it.
A lovely throw there from Saltibus. With the towering head over
right.
Emery going up.
Clery boys having a few words with one another.
Donil pouncing this one high and hard.
I'm sure if they get another goal, they'll all be friends once again. But if they concede another goal, things could get a bit testy.
Emery goes wide. St. Roman looking for T-Pry. Is well handled there by Emery. Christopher in the middle of the park was looking for Shaquan. Well met by Sempri. A darting header into touch there.
Two goals to one here at the Dennery playing field. It's just about 5 minutes of regulation time left in this inaugural Tier 1 final of the Semi-Pro Football League. It's been a thrilling encounter, gentlemen.
It has been from the start. And this game has had it all. Great goals, red card, number of other cards. Unfortunately, injuries, but that's part of the game.
And this one is wide of the right upright of Aaron Daniel's goal.
Was that Yannick Noel taking that snapshot there, I believe?
Clearance from Sempri. St. Romain putting a block in there. Finding more. Back to Demille in goal. Squares up to Malik on the far side. Was looking for Alex DeVoe, but was well met in the center of the park.
Alex DeVoe, a very neat and tidy player, not in the mold of a robust figure at all. Very diminutive, but very crafty. 16 years old.
T-Pry making his way in there. Finding De Gazon. He's taking on one, he's taking on two, and skewing the shot there.
The attack still alive for Clery.
Almost some displeasure there by the traveling fans, probably expecting De Gaza to whisk that one across the face of the goal. He opted to take it on himself.
It'll be a double substitution for Clery.
Yannick Noel was subbed off for Callum Marius. That's for Clery. Donil finds more.
Central Castries is trying to press as best they can with 10 men.
St. Romain bringing this one down. Finding Tiprai. Tiprai spreads it wide. St. Romain well blocked there by Emery. Simeon is well shadowed there by Bujo. St. Romain again with minimal space here in the channel, trying to get around Simeon Francis and winning himself a corner. We're here in the 89th minute of our finals.
Interestingly enough, though, coming into this this doubleheader final of Tier 2 and Tier 1, we had two teams that would have not tasted defeat at all for the entire season. Of course, the tables will show Central Castries losing a game, but that was to a points deduction for fielding an ineligible player.
Oh, this one is just hitting the left upright of Daniel's goal.
6 minutes of added time by the fourth official, signaled by the fourth official.
Stinging shot there by Alex DeVoe, which was repelled into touch. A corner kick there. Uh, 6 minutes of added time, and we're here in the 90th.
6 minutes for Central Castries to find a goal to remain in this contest. 6 minutes for Clery to put it beyond their reach.
Opting to do the smart thing, Clery, holding on to possession as opposed to putting the ball into the box.
St. Romain finding more.
Moving St. Romain has been very central to a lot of things that's happened with Clery, putting a man of the match performance in the last 10 count, or actually in the
first qualifier,
in the eliminator.
Yeah,
that
the eliminator
against, against Dennery. Los Angeles Remy. In the second qualifier, he claimed man of the match honors.
We just
card for you, card for you.
Nelson got stung.
No surprises there. He's been in the thick of things for Central Castries.
No, if Central Castries had managed somehow to pull this off, I think man of the match would be pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Ant has been everything for them. One of the youngest players on the pitch, and he's been the straw that stirs the drink. And he will need a very solid ice bath tonight.
Definitely.
I would put that boy on ice from the time he gets on the team bus.
Definitely.
Because he has put in a shift.
Francis. This ball is coming across very dangerously. Shaquan Nelson. And this one is hewed into touch there.
Shaquan Nelson would have wanted to take that on.
Yeah.
At a clear sight of goal, maybe the use of his head, but Clery
could have been that could have been a single touch.
Clery on the counter and looking to set this one and ice this one.
T-Price.
Andres Remy smashing that one into the
Oh my God.
Bottom left corner of Aaron Daniel, and
Well, that ends this as a contest, I think.
And look at what we have seen here. We've seen two unbeaten teams taste defeat in the final. Football can be so cruel, but you can't say that the boys from Clery don't deserve it. They've played some excellent football, particularly to the back end of the semi-pro season. And when it counts, they've been able to dig deep and pull it off. Of course, I wouldn't want to be Jamal Wilfred right now. He may be feeling the weight of the world on his shoulders.
Fortunately, I don't think he's from Central Castries, so he should be all right going home.
3-1 in the favor of Clery. Clearance from Donil, Lionel. Emery in defense, finding his man. Christopher.
Apparently the goal scorer and just Remy. I'm not sure if he was issued a second yellow. Did he have a yellow card? Was he carrying a yellow card? Or
it's all happening here.
Yeah, I think most probably he was yellow carded before. It's just
I would
getting an alert there. He's receiving a red card.
Yeah, I mean excessive celebrations would warrant a yellow card.
Typically, yes.
This game is beginning to get a little testy, a little feisty.
Yeah, earlier on
we are into the last of the.
There was some pushing and shoving.
Minutes.
Another red card being issued there. It's all happening here. It's all unraveling here. Really ugly scenes here. I believe another red card being issued there. I believe Captain Emery Edward would have lashed out against, it looks like, moving Central Main.
A series of red cards have been shown here.
Hopefully we can sift through this bit of a mess there towards the end. Not what you want to see at the end of a final.
Red for Digazon, red for Emery.
Everybody gets a red card.
So both teams down to 9 men.
For essentially for 1 minute, because I don't think we're going to play much more than the 5 minutes, despite T-Pry having scored within the time added on and the celebration taking a little while. I don't think the officials are going to let this one drag on much longer.
Yeah,
it has 2-goal advantage.
It has gotten
there's really not much
here.
in it. Yeah.
You see players losing it in the process, losing their composure. It's time to push and shove. Clearance there from Sempri. Demille is grasping this one, and Clery winning the Tier 1 Premier League title over Central Castries by 3-1. Elijah.
Wow. Just wow. What a final. This contest had absolutely everything. Crunching tackles, some fantastic goals, red cards, and I say that in the plural, red cards.
Well-deserved champions, Clery. They've been one of the top teams. Keep in mind that just 3 seasons ago, Clery winning the second tier of inter-district football in St. Lucia. They were the Island Cup champions just 3 seasons ago, got promoted to the top tier, and then the next season were in the fight for the championship in the top tier. Won it last year. This year, first year of the St. Lucia Professional, Semi-Professional Football League, and they are your inaugural champions, winning 3-1. Clery definitely doing something special.
Definitely.
Semi-professional football league. Clery being victorious 3-1 over Central Castries.
Microphone check. Swinging sword. Of course, we are here. We are finally here. It is the final of the inaugural Semi-Pro Football League right here at the Dennery playing field. Clery coming away 3-1 victors over Central Castries. And to present the man of the match, Kamali Shalmine, who is a board member of the Semi-Pro Football League. That's okay. It's excitement. We are nervous, so things are falling. And Mervyn St. Romain is the man of the match. Of course, congratulations, Mervyn. It's a regular thing in the playoff.
Well, I feel good. I feel like I'm proving myself now.
It was a fantastically taken goal there. Talk us through that goal.
Coach told me to push forward. So I just knew he lost, so I took my chances.
All right. Of course, you guys all play for the same club, so you would have known Aaron. Like in the camp, you guys would have come in here feeling that you could win the title. Central Castries had not tasted defeat for the entire season.
Well, that's the thing. We was fighting all week, so we had confidence. I guess they was resting, so we just come with a better confidence to the game, and we proved them wrong.
All right. Well, congratulations, of course, and enjoy your gifts.
Thank you.
And we're now here with the losing finalist coach, Mr. Nigel James. Commiserations to you and your team. Nigel, would be disappointing for you guys. This is the actual first time you guys would have tasted defeat throughout this Tier 1 competition.
just came up short.
A red card for you guys would have probably turned the tide shortly after that. You conceded a goal.
Upset with a call that wasn't me on the. Exactly what he said. Because the guys, despite being down one player, we held it till about the 80th minute, and then we conceded a second goal. But we still created some chances, but we just came up short.
What did you say to your team at halftime? Coming into the second half, you guys seem to be having a better of the match, even though you were down a man.
Yeah, I just told them believe in themselves and the man next to you, because that was our motto throughout the season. Believe in yourself, believe in the man next to you, and work for each other. And they did that. As I said, it wasn't meant to be so. It just didn't happen today.
All right, Nigel, of course, congratulations for getting to the final, and we wish you all the best for next year's contest. With the of the final, trying to hold the blushes, but of course he would be elated. Zayn, tell us about that victory.
Well, it was a tough game. We went down early in the game, and we just tried as much as possible to keep our head in the game and keep looking for the equalizer. And I knew once my team got the equalizer, then it would be the win from there.
You guys were in ominous form towards the back end of the season, scoring plenty. 4 past Dennery in the eliminator. Of course, another 3 goals here tonight in the final. At some point during the match, you kind of looked like you were losing your way just a little bit, maybe towards the start of the second half. Central Castries made some adjustments. How was your team able to come back from that?
Well, we knew they would come try to switch their tactics in the game, but I also spoke to my players deal with the situation, and my players just reacted well to my instructions, and we handled them just fine.
The last time you were here with me, Zayn, you spoke to the fact that this Clery team has a lot of youth, right? And you guys are not looking for the now, but youth seem to be in the now as well.
Yeah, and that's what I told you from start. If you don't give the young players a chance, then we just going to run after our youth, and I try my best not to do that. And I'm looking for more young players to bring in, because our older players not getting any younger. You understand? And I will continue to give my young players opportunities once they deserve it.
Well, congratulations to you on winning, making history here. You are from Dennery. We are at the Dennery playing field, and you've won the inaugural Semi-Pro Football League Championship in Tier 1. Congratulations. All right, can we get a representative from Grosley would have finished 3rd. Okay, before we get to the 3rd place, we would like to acknowledge our officials, Renly Napoleon and his team. And of course, the match commissioner, Miss Liz Campbell. Of course, with us is the chair of the Semi-Pro Football League, Dr. Euralis Delaire, who is also the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports. She will be presenting the plaques to the officials and the match commissioner. If you can just go around. And we ask our officials to come forward. It's Mary Liz Campbell, the match commissioner for the final. Could you please state as we, how many members? Okay. All right. So we do have some place medals there. So we'll just hand those out to those. Of course, their third place trophy as well. Yes. Yes. Of course, Grosile placing third in this inaugural semi-pro football league tier 1. The entire team is not represented, but delighted to hand them their third place trophy. Third place check being handed out to Team Grosile. Of course, we await the losing finalists. Central Castries. With us, one of the other directors of the Semi-Pro Football League, Mr. Shane Paul. He's also the president of the Grosile Football League, ex-co member of the SLFA. Medals. Of course, disappointment on the face of the lads from Central Castries, and rightfully so. They would have confident coming into this competition or coming into this final contest that were over on Clery who during the regular season. Of course, Sean Curtin there, who is former Sean Curtin, a former Second place trophy being awarded. Second, we need to present you with your check as well. Check of 15,000 to the lads from Central Castries. A valiant effort put in by them. Of course, disappointment, but such is the game of football. The highest of highs, and sometimes champions. It's time for the boys from LA, Clery. If they can just compose themselves and temper the excitement just a little bit. Of course, the Minister of Development and Sport. No. Pierre to the podium. Assistant coach. He did say at the second qualifier that and they've arrived. Azor collecting his championship medal there. Some of the youngsters in the team, Imani Butcher, Alex DeVoe, Andros Remy, T-Pry Remy, very instrumental in Clery's resurgence towards the back end of this semi-pro season. And of course, Mr. Ray DeMille, he's been with this Clery outfit from the onset. In this era of football, when you talk about homegrown, you're talking about Sandiford, also a senior national player. The unmistakable dreadlocks of John Perry, collecting his winner's medal there. Of course, he fresh off his senior national debut. And of course, the St. Pre towards the back end. And Devon, of course, both former national players. President of the... And who's collecting the check? Who's collecting? And of course, the trophy to be awarded to the captain. Of course, lovely scenes here Lovely scenes here at the Dennery playing field. Some of the fan base has this historic moment. This historic moment. The boys from LA. Champagne popping. They're choreographing their championship celebration down there at the Dennery playing field. At the Dennery field. The Clery definitely winners of the tournament. They fared fantastically well. And of course, congratulations to the organizers for putting on a very lengthy but well-run tournament. Definitely leveraging football to transform lives. And we leave it here at the Dennery playing field. Saying good night for myself. Terry finished there on the and of course the football Chinese. Catch you guys next season.